Speed Gaming and the Link to the Past Randomizer League presents the League Championship Series. On the left, representing Perfect Unadulterated Gaming Squad, you have Eriror. And on the right, representing OKDUDES, you have Telethar. I'm Adirondack Rick, Tracy M. It's the finals.
I mean, Aries' name says it all. All the marbles.
So before these two get going, we're going to go ahead and talk about quickly how these two have gotten to this point. Perfect Unadulterated Gamer Squad, or Pugs as we'll call them, defeated Team Hime in round 1. Tile Roommates in the conference semifinals. The Eastern Skippers in the conference finals. First round and second and the third rounds, 3-1. OKDUDES ended up defeating JKLOL 3-1 in the first round. Don't forget to track us 3-0 in round 2, and the Divine Beastie Boys in round 3, 3-1. Wow.
Those series were pretty interesting. I mean, the Ganon's Gone Wild, who's the casual boots player, really stepping up and beating Gamachu twice in the previous round. And then the Pugs series against the Eastern Skippers was really interesting, with a lot of late lead changes that really could have gone either way. So 2 really fun series to watch in the previous round. So hopefully we get more of the same, and maybe get that 5-game series. I know Andy's itching to play some Retrance for Game 5.
And we mentioned Andy right there. He is the blue member of Pugs. The green member will be Daaanty, so therefore Daaanty will be playing in the casual boots against Ganon's Gone Wild for OKDUDES. The blue pendant for OKDUDES is Hitsuen. Pugs 11-3, so they're going to be the lower seed because OKDUDES came in with a 12-2 record. And this is the first ever meeting between these two runners, and they were kind of talking about it in the race room beforehand. Right, Tracy?
Oh yeah, and I mean, Telethar heaping a lot of praise on Eriror. Was really excited to be finally matching up with him. So hopefully he doesn't have those stars in his eyes, and he pulls it out, or pulls out a really good run. You know, obviously we're not rooting for anybody.
The League Championship Series is underway as we start off in the Sanctuary with 10 arrows.
Start.
You don't see a lot of sync starts for both runners, but we do start off. Hey, that's vanilla
sync. Aries just gonna go straight over to the fairy drop, and maybe he'll probably do a Houlihan here.
Good way to get yourself 225 rupees. Well, right there.
Okay, if he gets bombs, this is great. If he doesn't get bombs, this is not great. Because this is going to be an orphaned one-off for Aerie if none of these chests have bombs. A shovel, ooh.
Hey, Hotel Mario found in the first 40 seconds.
One more shot at bomb. Nope, no bombs.
Hey, there's some bombs.
Like Kylie Island. The runners unfortunately can't get those yet. And we're not doing Spike Cave yet.
Why not?
No hammer, no glove.
Not enough life.
Yeah, that too. And Telethar going over towards the eastern area. This is something I've seen a lot of runners do, where they just put off Kakariko, which is something I've never understood. I like to get to Kakariko. There's all these entrances, all right in the same area as early as I can. But this early, I mean, I don't think your wins and losses aren't coming from these early calls. See, Paradox Cave, you can't get anything because you have nothing to open anything with.
Eric coming up 1 for 2 on the 50-50s.
Yep, gonna farm some bombs before heading to Kakariko. And do the, oh, there we go. Doesn't have to farm anymore. 4 is a pretty good amount to go in there with.
Telethar just wish she has one single bomb at this point.
Yeah, oh yeah. The early bombs, I mean, you think about that in any Link to the Past, these early bombs are really important. But more so even in the casual boots, or just, sorry, not casual boots, more so in CrossKeys, because you don't have as many, you know, early junk checks where you're just likely to get money for buying bombs, or just be able to, or just get bombs. And a Castle Tower small key. may or may not be relevant.
Telethar getting a castle tower key. Eriror getting a first bottle.
Always nice to have that bottle before you run into sick kid.
Telethar needs to be careful. The red Tyke one hit and dead, but gets around it. And we find Super Bunny.
Yeah, I imagine he'll go through this after checking this other cave.
And he wishes he has 300 rupees for it.
Yeah. That's so painful. I've been there on these. You know, you get an early connector, it takes you someplace like this, you want to follow it, and then you just find things you have to come back to because you just don't have the resources early.
They're getting a red bottle refilled there, which is actually a whole lot better than having a fairy in a bottle at this early stage because we don't have a mirror.
Yeah, death warping with a fairy. I mean, I say it all the time. I've many more times had my fairy mess up my death warp than I have had it save me. So, be very happy to give up that fairy for that red potion as well.
A lot of early checks for both of these runners, and that's why we have two great trackers in the background, Relkin and Link Force, Moon Pearl and Super Bunny.
In the end, Telethar getting the payout with that Moon Pearl. Still has no money, basically, but so it might be a while before Eri gets over there. We'll see how long it takes him to get over to the eastern area.
Sick kid in Kakariko Village, and Telethar is getting over towards the village right now because Super Bunny dumped you out at K45.
That's convenient. One of the nice things about finding a connector like that is when you find the mirror, now you don't ever have to worry about checking that location.
Desert Main.
Desert. Okay, doesn't want to check any of it. Sometimes you'll see runners will just check the item and not check the connectors. Eri might choose to come back for both item and connectors.
I mean, he might be also thinking, what if I get boots, so therefore that's a second item I can get. We do see a key, by the way, at race game.
Yeah, or even one of the keys, big key or small key, would add more items. And we do have a hammer-locked Ganon today.
Better than a G or an Aga Tower blocked Ganon.
Oh, yeah. Or, speaking of Ganon's Tower locked Aga, here's Ganon's Tower. Can't do a whole lot here. We can stare at this item. And no nothing. And...
which is going to be a key, which we don't know which dungeon it's going to go towards,
idea.
Of course.
Not entirely sure why Eri grabbed the key from the pot, other than maybe he figures... if I don't have a key when I come back here and I have to do right side with Kain and Fire Rod, maybe he wants to just not have to worry about picking it up then.
Yeah, I think that's the idea. I mean, you're over there scouting the key. Of course, you get one from the Hope Room, but you don't know that. And...
yeah, of course not. We also got Turtle Rock small key. You need at least one of those to finish the dungeon. Depending on your entrances, you can need anywhere from 1 to 4 to full clear it. Logically, of course, there are a couple of things that are always behind 4 keys, and depending on where some of your entrances, it could be other things behind 4 keys. Turtle Rock key logic is pretty wacky in CrossKeys. Anytime you have entrances, I say inverting, it can have some weird things too, with mirror entrances.
We see Hookshot Cave over here at the right guard collar, and we do see the glove, which is going to be something that we're going to want to see at some stage.
Yeah, I mean, that glove is kind of interesting because a lot of runners will, after the Kakariko, if they haven't done the eastern area, if they don't have a glove, that eastern area looks really good because you don't have to worry about leaving any entrance behind. But that glove might pull area away from that area and do either, some of the south checks, either to the east or the west. And
Tracy?
Might not make it to... yeah, we have 2 Castle Tower small keys already.
Yeah, I'm getting a little worried about that fact right there. The fact that we've already seen both of the Castle Tower keys.
Well, it's not the well, so it might not be bait. If it's well behind Castle Tower, I'm telling you every single time, it's bait. It's bait. It's always bait. I've seen dumb things at literally every other... Put a magic back behind there's going to be something there.
Tracy, but bait's in Zelda 1.
You're right, it is.
Grumble, grumble. You're already picking up a piece of heart, which is interesting.
It's free. That's a very free piece of heart.
Telethar not picking up that key, so we'll just leave with the one key that he picked out of Hope Room.
Yeah,
As
he
the
went
Sea
Hope
House.
first, so already having the small key, I guess he's not nearly as worried about it. Small key to
Desert
desert.
Palace, small. Okay.
That's a nice one to find when you already have the desert entrance. We have a desert main entrance, so at some point go back in and check the right side, and the desert small. Check the right side exit, and the 2 items on the right side as well.
Tracy, I just learned something by way of Eriror.
Yes.
First of all, if you don't kill any enemies, you don't get anything on the tree pole.
That's
obvious news right there. But I didn't realize that those were 50-50 bomb chances there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, having already found Ganon, you can just drop down, not worry.
Well,
there are bomb problems.
Finding Ganon and useless fairies, so therefore you're getting something at this drop. The worst it can be is Magic Bat, and oh well.
Yeah, I mean, it's not so bad if you drop into Bat or into the useless fairy, because it's not like you have to save and quit out of there. But if you drop into Ganon, there's nothing you can do.
Hi, Desert Left.
Okay, so that'll be all the desert entrances, because I think we're going to see 3 checks from area, then go out the right side.
And we're going to scout this item, too. No,
we're never coming back. Yeah, we're never coming back for that. Just 20 rupees.
Telethar's dropping in blindly into the well, which is going to be unfortunate. It is that useless fairy. It's just the more of the time having to walk out.
Yeah, it's a little bit of extra time. I personally like having. It's funny because I actually kind of like a vanilla Ganon, so I know I have.
Ways to kill the popos.
Yep. But yeah, that vanilla Ganon is kind of nice. You just know you have to do the climb when you get the chance. But that hookshot cave also opens up actual hookshot cave and a swamp small key.
Swamp small and hookshot, both on the right side of Desert Palace. I'm getting a little worried about that swamp palace. Of course, we still need to know where it is, where the dam is, where the hammer is, and various other things.
It's actually kind of interesting because for those of you that just watched the open race, that swamp small key played a big part in that race. We won't be looking for it this time. We already found it.
By the way, this gets Eriror up to the mountain where he's going to find that moon pearl.
Yep, that's really good for him.
Takes a hit by a red Tektite. Those things do hurt. Takes another hit from a red Tektite. Those things really do hurt.
They really do. Like, you can use your sword a little bit to kind of swat them away, but we don't have a sword yet.
And hookshot does nothing against them. Now here we get to see what Eriror is going to get, but Telethar missed out on. It turns out to be nothing.
Just some bombs. Yeah, the only problem with this is Telethar might, he knows that there's an item there, so he might go back sooner and for just those bombs. Hopefully he can pair it in with something else.
Well, here's the thing: is once he does get that hookshot out of desert, then he's got the whole left side to check.
That's true. That's true. Also note that magic pot is really nice.
It really is when you have when you have not yet seen any sort of magic at all. So Magic Bat is behind Castle Tower.
Okay. Yep, Magic Bat isn't a bad one because you need so many things to make it useful. Like, you need the Castle Tower keys. We also need the powder to show up. You also need real boots to show up. We only have pseudo boots right now. That bonk that Eri did, which was not on purpose, was a little shorter than usual, if you might have noticed.
This actually is very convenient for Eri's routing because now he gets to check these 4 items.
See if Hookshot Cave has anything for us.
So yeah, well, we haven't seen what's at the castle yet, so we've either got the Lost Woods drop down or the uncle.
Yep. Big key
Palace of
pod.
Darkness. Yeah, that's
nice
something
to find that early. And a small key to Misery Mire, which is only useful for logical reasons. A little bit, it makes routing a little bit better, but mostly it's just for logical reasons.
Back of Escape is 1 1/4 hearts, and hi there, Dark
There's
Bumper
our dark.
Cave.
Oh, that's a terrible Dark World. You have to go all the way to Hookshot Cave and all the way through Hookshot Cave just to get to the Dark World. So yeah, Ari's gonna stay in here for a while, I think. Proto-Rock and Ice Palace are red crystals, as the bomb guy tells us.
All right, what are we going to have for the Ganon drop down? The Ganon drop down is going to be the secret passage. Oh, sword! Okay!
Yeah, that's really nice to get that sword for Telethar. He'll have a better time when he gets over here to the Dark World, but... Yeah, the uncle at GT drop down is the worst, because literally any other place you can just access it. I personally love seeing the uncle drop down at the Lumberjack, because then you don't even have to think about Aga 1. But nope, today it's hidden behind Aga 2, and we have to do, it's a 6-item climb, so might make that more appealing later on. We've already found Ganon's tower.
A lot of still lucrative. That's vanilla.
Eri, meanwhile, needs to be a little careful with his health here. There's a lot of things that'll do 2 hearts damage on green mail in the Dark World here.
Yeah, this is definitely a dangerous region, and Eri's gonna get that fairy.
I don't care how good you are, that's a good pickup, those fairies. And Telethar gonna go ahead and do the traditional start this late to get both the potion shop and probably gonna fake flipper over to Eastern Palace that we're not doing. To get over to the Hool hand play and what will be the well for him.
Yep. And I can see a whole bunch of people probably throwing in Zelga EP type of emotes. And there's the front of TR.
Not that we can do anything with it right now. Now, this is going to be interesting, because when Eri did this, he didn't have a bomb to open up this back area. So let's see what's here. Just a compass.
And the dam found at the brewery.
Oh, another piece of the swamp puzzle. Okay, save and quit for Telethar. Let's see where he goes next. I imagine he'd probably get to Hookshot Cave relatively soon as well, since that, it's 4 items and a connector.
Feels to me like Erir's lining things up to make Skull Woods the final stop. Has chosen not to purchase anything from the upgrade ferry. Actually, Erir's proving me wrong.
Yeah, Skull Woods is a weird one, because if it's got the good layout, you could do it all and then continue on your path here. But if it's got the bad layout, where the connector part, the middle part of Skull Woods are those first 2 entrances, and you have to use a drop down to get to the back, you get stuck in the back and you can't go any further, and you have to save and quit at that point.
Misery Meyer, our green pendant, thanks to Sahashvala's knowledge, as we are about ready to do some digging for Eriror.
Yeah, and he also might want to put it off until he has at least one or both of Fire Rod and the big key to Skull Woods, so he doesn't have to worry about extra dips in that area.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, we're going to get some South Light World checks from Telethar before checking Hookshot Cave. We haven't found a lot of dungeons, so this could be... Yeah, we got an item cave here. So there's still a lot of things we're missing.
Gina just moved just ever so slightly.
Yep. A big key. A potentially important big key. Right, oh yeah, Telethar hasn't gotten that hookshot out of desert yet, so this makes sense that he's going over here and not doing Hookshot Cave. But yeah, that Hera big key really, logically, of course, gates the entire top of Hera. But with Hera Pot, the runners can just do it.
Hi, Meyer.
Hookshot. It's kind of nice to have the Hera big key. The Hera big key, the Thief small key, Ice big key, Swamp big key are just really nice to have when you hit those dungeons. You never have to worry about coming back for the items that they open.
Hi, Thief Sound. Hi, Hammer and Thief
Sound.
Sound.
That's a nice hammer. And of course, to Telethar's mind, since he doesn't know where the hookshot is, it's actually kind of nice. if you do Hera with the big key and don't have the hook shot. Every once in a while, the hook shot will just be behind that Hera big key. Not the case today, but it is a thing that can happen. And this will be the end of Telethar's route unless this is a connector. It is not a connector. Because once you use that book, you can't get out. It looks like Thieves Town just giving us that hammer. And I think we're going to see this, and this is why we don't like fairies early, because now we can death warp.
You don't want to see mail upgrades. You don't want to see fairies early on because of that reason right alone. All right, so Telethar is heading, it looks like, okay, we're going to check Flute 5 first.
Yeah, I don't think he got here because he found a connector that took him to the mountain.
And I think now we're going to go take that connector back up to the mountain because there's all that left side of the mountain that we can check. Plus, of course, you can do that chess game that he never got to do.
Yeah, I think was it Desert Right that was up there that he didn't check when he was there the first time. So he can check that now. He'll get his hook shot, and then he can just hook over to the.
He won't be able to get there because Desert Right was at Spiral Cave.
Oh, okay. So no, you're right. Yeah, that's not gonna work for him. But he will get a couple of extra entrances that he didn't get before.
As we find the Spectacle Rock, 300 rupees on the reward side, and this is another place where realize that even though you're a good gamer like Eriror is, your health is important.
Yeah, he still hasn't found that sword at the drop down at Hyrule Castle, so running without a sword is not ideal.
Oh,
but here we go. Oh, okay, so we're on the mountain in a different way. So he's gonna have to do when he finds the hype cave. When he finds the dark room for the old man.
Yes, Tracy.
He's gonna have to do this with like a hook shot or something, but he should be able to do that.
Well, yes, Tracy. He is gonna have to do hype cave.
And we get a small key.
A whole lot of no hype in it.
That might be a downgrade to have that.
Right, I forgot about this. We have Paradox.
Yeah, very, very smart Telethar coming back to this. Well, so far it's been a dud, but there's 5 more checks up here.
And Eriror is in the dark.
Oh, he can use bombs to guide himself.
Big key to Green Pendant Misery Mire.
What's funny is every once in a while, you'll go into the dark room and it won't be the one you think it is. Actually, my favorite is when I go into the dark room, into a dark cave like this, and it turns out to be the front of the old man cave. It's very easy to tell because immediately you'll fall down something that doesn't do damage.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, nothing interesting on the old man, but that will give Eri 2 connectors, or 2 start points that he can try. Is that Hammer House?
That is his Hammer House.
Which isn't very useful for Telethar right now. And we find Hyrule Castle on Eri's side, and because we've already seen the back of Escape, he can go ahead and just do this without worry, even though the second and third item on this side will not be in logic. We get some blue mail.
Yeah, remember when I mentioned that that's not what you want to see? Now you really want to see the mirror.
Oh, yeah. It's not so bad for this location because typically you damage yourself down with the green guard anyway, and the green guard, for whatever reason, always does a half a heart of damage. Not ideal.
So we're still heavy on the discovery aspect of this. But
small key to Thieves Town. That's nice because that'll be a fully completable Thieves Town for Eri once he gets the big key.
Not in logic just yet because we haven't seen the Hyrule Castle small, but you know what we say about logic in this game.
Well, I know what people say about logic. I am of the opinion that you have to keep track of the logic, but not necessarily follow the logic.
Right, it's good to be mindful of your logic, And there are a lot of great runners in this game, and these two are amongst the two of them who are good at remembering where they are in the lodge. Oh, I was worried that was going to refill his health.
Yeah, those little pieces of heart, can be a little bit scary.
But the big thing, he's still got connectors. He's got entrances he's got to get over.
Yeah, I thought he might do Dark Cross here, which isn't too bad to do with just the hook shot. But yeah, it's also, you don't have a sword, you don't have a lamp to see by, you don't even have a fire rod to light the torches. So I could see putting that off till after you've done some of these other checks. And there's a hook shot for Telethar.
I think that was Death Mountain Descension for Eriror, but I'm not 100% certain. I didn't hear the bats.
Yeah, I can't tell unless I'm actually the one play. I can tell pretty well if it's the front of the old man cave because of that drop down. And then it's the Ascension Descent caves. If you go far enough in, you'll fall and you will lose health. So those are pretty obvious. But only if you walk in far enough.
All right, Telethar now with the hook shot coming over here to the other side. And Eriror, unfortunately, finding the paradox, but of course no mirror, so he couldn't glitch his way to the item.
Not the right part of Paradox Cave for Eri.
I think Eri's going to go ahead and check the back three of escape at this point. Nice landmine.
Yeah, not a whole lot here. You might take this into... Well, he'll probably save and quit out of this, even if he wants to go back to a start point at the sanctuary. It's just quicker than walking out. So let's see what he does. Well, back to Link's house.
So back to Link's house, and this is going to be the front entrance.
Okay, he's going to get his sword, so that's good.
So he'll get his sword. The other thing is that because he has the hook shot, he's going to be able to go through Bumper Cave.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a classic gotcha for new CrossKeys runners. Is if you get to Bumper Cave from the backside, that hook shot will get you across in logic. Sometimes you got to do it. From the front side, you still need the cave. I see a question about Castle Tower keys. There is a magic bat locked behind the Castle Tower keys, so it's a big unknown right now. But you know, until we have both regular boots and powder, it's really not worth thinking about.
And logically, also the lamp, but of course, that is another department of who really cares.
It depends, right? You know, if it's a Castle Tower that you know you have to do. As long as you have a fire rod, you just do it. I mean, some people might just do it in the dark. But but you know, if you're talking about a check like Magic Bat, I'm not doing Magic Bat behind Castle Tower until I have everything that puts in logic.
Telethar choosing to check these entrances. So that's Bumper Ledge,
which could be big. Unfortunately, the item is crap. But
the knowledge that's there is the bigger important aspect of this.
It's annoying to find these one-off entrances that you need a mirror to follow through on without the mirror. Because there's just, you know, these little spots that when you get the mirror, suddenly they'll turn green on your tracker. And it's like, okay, when am I going to route that in? Because I don't want to do it right now.
This also gets Telethar over here to Hookshot Cave.
I think that was a pod big key over there, so it gets that for him.
Yeah, I believe that was where the pod big was. Of course, we have not seen the Palace of Darkness just
not yet. And I don't think, no small keys for pod as well. Oh, there's Swamp. We can't do it. We still need a Flippers. We still need a Flippers to do anything in Swamp Palace, but that's we can do most of the things in there once we get those slippers. I think the only thing we're missing is the big key, and that's just one check.
Yeah, and you'll see some runners choose to just go in there at that stage and not wait for the big key because...
You can't wait for the Swamp big key in particular, because it's not even logically required.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Ice big key, it's waiting for an Ice big key, waiting for a Hera big key. Those are logical requirements. Waiting for those makes a little bit more sense. But Swamp is not the Swamp big key and the Tower of Hera small key are those true fetch quest keys where they just don't mean anything unless they have something in that exact location.
So I think while we're both of these runners are covering each other's tracks, I think we can start to talk about Telethar. This is his first season in the league and ended up getting all the way here to the championship. Went 8-3 so far this season. Is 2-2 in CrossKeys modes, 6-1 in the other modes so far this season. Last loss was to Rahman by 256, and Rahman is definitely one of those good players in randomizers, so...
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, save and quit for Eri. Telethar is starting to do his first Dark World loop. Okay, we're gonna. This is our first check. Oh, that's a nice spot for a start spot on the mountain. Okay, nothing on floating islands, so we don't ever have to worry. Well, I mean, we're gonna see that connector at some point. We don't have to worry about not having a mirror for that one.
Yeah, we're gonna be able to check the Hera entrance, also see what's on the Ether tablet.
Mm-hmm. And if we need money, we can get it. At the moment, at 830 rupees, Eri's not going to take any time to pick up those rupees. And we're not going to come back for that piece of heart.
And Eri, I think, is now going to
Hyrule
connect
Castle.
those Hyrule Castle entrances. Maybe
Yeah, and
do
he
Dark
might,
Cross too.
Yeah, he might do Dark Cross as well. With the sword, it's a lot easier. The sword just, in dark rooms, having a sword just makes such a big difference. No, he wants to do the connectors first. He might do the connectors first and then do Dark Cross. He's thinking.
Yeah, he's thinking about this at this point. What do I want to do?
Because the problem with Dark Cross without a mirror or a lamp is the Death Warp is much harder when you can't see the enemies to run into.
Did you see what Telethar almost did?
No.
He almost did the Pseudo boots bonk.
Oh, yeah.
Oh!
Good catch.
Great ending location. I mean, you can get back through this, but...
Yeah, there is a clip you can do. I've never done it myself. It's really only worth if that's your only Dark World connector.
I mean, he has the hammer, so he could get back through the blocks that way.
Oh, you're right. He could. He could just hammer it. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. It figures, Dark Cross not in logic yet anyway. Maybe I'll just do it later. And 2 useless entrances in the middle drop down here on the mountain.
Yep, the fairy fountain drop down and a fairy fountain drop down. Thank you, game. Now, Eri's going to come back through here. This is going to give him his first look at the eastern area now that he's taken this transport.
Yeah, and this, you're here, you might as well do these checks right now. He's going to find Paradox Cave. He's already seen one of the exits, so he doesn't have to check both.
And of course, now he sees the Paradox Cave, which is going to get him the Mire Big.
Yeah, that darn green pendant.
That's why I say with such enthusiasm.
Oh, we haven't even found Misery. No, we found Misery Mire. We did find Misery Mire. We
can
do it now.
Yes, we have.
We have something to kill Wizrose. We have a way to get across with the hook shot.
Because Telethar is about to show us where Misery Mire is right now.
See if he goes in.
Thinking about it, he's going. There we go.
I mean, it's a pendant, so and you don't have the cane, so you can't finish it anyway. So you hope that you check it once and then never come back.
But just once.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it'll be interesting to see if he decides to do the stuff over on the left side. You need 3 small keys to put that stuff in logic, but, if there's something there...
But you also need a fire source, which we don't have.
We don't have a fire source. We can't even do it, so never mind. Forget I even talked about that area.
Tracy, it's because we're about to get a fire source in this dungeon.
It would be nice.
We're getting a fire source here.
That's a small key.
That is not a fire source.
That is a Ganon's Tower small key. And what are we at? We're at 3 Ganon's Tower small keys. So, you know, it's a 6-item climb eventually. We still need a bow and a fire source to do it.
You know what that 3 smalls tell me at this point? There might be something at the Ice Armos, which we can get to.
Yes, we can. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Eri goes back and does that soon. Telethar still looking for the hammer. Needs to get over to that Thieves' Tower.
Cape.
Cape's a nice item, but when you've already done Bumper Cave with the hookshot, it really doesn't do much for us. I guess it does give us Spike Cave.
It does put what we found in the laser bridge of TR on logic.
Yes, it does.
Fire rod!
Hello.
There it is,
go.
Grayson. I told
There's
you.
your fire source.
Tracy,
Okay, do
you were a soothsayer. You were a soothsayer.
Do you go do the rough side
Yes, yes. While you're here, might as well. When in Rome.
Yeah, looks like Telethar agrees with you. Yeah, I tend to do this. You don't want to have to... Like, if it's late in the game and now suddenly you have 3 small keys and you have to come back here just because you didn't check it earlier, that just feels bad. So far, Quake and GT.
Magic powder.
Oh.
Hi.
Well, okay, so the nice thing... So now, the Magic Bat check is gated by 3 Meyer Smalls, as well as everything it was already gated by, and that's a Eastern big key for Eri.
Locked behind 4 GT
small.
GT
We got 3 of them, so, you know. The powder, a really nice luxury item. Not something you're gonna rush to check though. We could do it. We have the small keys, Fire Rod, Aga, not that bad.
But we don't have the real boots yet.
We don't have, well, yeah, we can't check it. We can get to the point where we can check it once we get real boots.
What if Telethar gets the real boots here?
Oh, that'd be crazy.
No,
just
that's not it. Yay, Desert Palace.
Nice death orb, just fall off and you're done.
Flippers!
That's Swamp Palace!
Hera Small!
That's a full clearable Hera and another pod small, because we got lots of those.
And there's the other invincibility item, the Cane of Burna.
And Burna's really a nice find, because we don't have a bow for the Armos Knights, and the second best way to kill the Armos Knights is with the Cane of Burna, if you know how to group them up properly. Okay, Telethar gonna get his hammer here. And it wouldn't surprise me if we see a swamp play relatively soon.
Either that or make it way over towards the Zora area.
Yeah, lots of value there. A lot of actual items, not just caves.
You scared me, Eriror! You scared me!
That was, yeah, that would not have been fun to have to come back for that one chest. Although, if he never came back for it. Looks like he's gonna start with that sword and maybe switch to the cane.
Yeah, as they start moving around,
yeah,
well,
if you want to wait for them to move, because otherwise you're not gonna get all of them bunched up like this. And he didn't quite have full magic when he started, which is unfortunate. If you have full magic and you group them up like that, you should be able to kill all of them.
Yeah, that was the unfortunate effect of him getting hit with that anti-fairy.
So he'll survive the fight, but it'll just take a little bit longer than it would have.
Big key to the Thieves' Town, so that's now fully completable for Eriror.
So if you're Eri, do you go to Thieves' Town or do you go to Swamp? Those are both full clearable dungeons. We don't know whether they're pendants or crystals.
I think you're going to Thieves' Town, and that, in fact, that looks like where he's going right now.
Yeah, the nice thing about Thieves' Town, as opposed to Swamp, is you don't have that left side decision. There's no such thing as, I mean, there's basically no such thing as a go mode Thieves' Town. Like, maybe you can skip the big chest, right? Or Swamp Palace, if you can put that off a little while longer to make a better decision as to whether to go to that left side or not. Castle. Hyrule Castle for Telethar.
Neither runner choosing to go through Dark Cross at this stage. Looks like Telethar's going to find out what this right entrance does in just a moment, which is put him at the Peg Cave.
We'll see if he comes back in.
He's trying to clip his way through. See if he successfully pulls it off. There we go. Nice job. Speaking of Telethar, you know what Telethar's first rando competition was?
Nope.
The 2021 CrossKeys tournament.
Nice. Well, that would explain why he's the CrossKeys player on his team.
I mean, he's 74 and 53 on the ladder, ranked number 9.
That's pretty darn good. And to answer chat, that clip that Telethar did is a one-way. You cannot go back the other way.
Just by
not
comparison,
with legal, at least not with race legal tech.
Right. Just by comparison, Eriror on the ladder CrossKeys ranked number 20, 12 and 2. Took one of his 2 losses this season, actually.
Oh, really? Here we're going to see a Skullwoods play from Telethar.
You know all about those Skullwoods plays.
Yeah, we'll see if we have the good Skullwoods or the bad Skullwoods. Looks like he wants to get a magic refill as well.
Makes sense at this stage when you've only got about a quarter magic remaining. Get a bear sells a big key to swamp, so
okay,
now we can get everything.
Yeah,
in swamp.
so it works out well that we did, the Airy did Thieves Town first. Now, if he wants, when he goes into swamp, he can choose to full clear it if he wants to. Boomerang, that it's nice, but not really what we're looking for.
Yay. Looks like this is the good Skullwoods.
Yeah, it is.
With Fairy Ascension Cave.
That's not what you want to find here. You want to find a one-off item cave that you never have to come back to.
And even worse.
Yeah, that's not doing you any favors. It is a little bit longer, unfortunately, to walk back out of this cave in this direction as the other direction.
All right, what do you think this is, Tracy? Is this a pendant or a crystal?
I think this could be a pendant. It's a small key. To pop. Nope, it's crystal.
With 2 pod small keys inside.
That's yeah. That gives us a lot of things we can do in pod. And actually, what I would expect, I think Airy does swamp next, but what I would expect when you do pod, you save that second small key. With 2 keys, you can get to a bunch of the 6 key locked items.
Looks like Airy is not going to go into Misery Mire just yet. We're going to go over towards the Palace of Darkness region.
Yeah, I mean, not doing Mire makes sense. Now, he's going to have to get there eventually, probably. We don't know for sure. We do know for sure he needs that fire rod. It looks like we have it because we have the red crystal over Turtle Rock. So he's going to have to get in there at some point. Ooh, nice. A blue bottle. If you're going to get a bottle, getting blue is nice.
And Telethar's going to get the guaranteed small key here.
Yeah, you always want to pick this up so that when you find the actual back of Skullwoods, you can just do it. And we'll save and quit out of there.
And Dark Flute 5 for Eriror is going to be, well, not a place we're going to return to.
Yep. Telethar getting his Death Mountain start.
Yep, getting the unfortunate, there's nothing at these 2 spots.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't think either runner has done the back yet. Of course, it's not in logic until you have a lamp. Of course, the front's not in logic until you have a lamp either, because, theoretically, you should have had a lamp to rescue the old man in the first place.
And
it's a pretty easy dark room to navigate, though.
It is. The only thing you really have to mind is that one pit, and once you know what the layout of that room is, you can avoid that pit almost every time. I say that, then I'll fall down. And 110 rupee.
Ooh,
Oh,
Mire area.
That's
Okay,
a
so
good
the Mire
reasoning.
area behind the lamp. And oh, he doesn't have Quake yet, so he can't open that entrance.
And Skullwood's back.
Okay, but he can do this because he's got that small key out of the front, and he's got the fire rod, so he can do this, and I imagine he will. Not your ideal fight, green mail, fighter sword. Not a lot of magic to show. I mean, I'm a big fan of using that fire rod when you don't have a good sword.
Didn't Telethar just pick up a blue goo?
He does have a blue, at least. In the meantime, we're going to see the pyramid item here from Eri.
Oh!
That's that. That is a really interesting find because a lot of runners, you know, you don't really want to come out here without a mirror because there's 3 mirror entrances. Actually, really only 2 for Eri since he doesn't have that cape and doesn't have a master sword yet.
Right, that's right. He doesn't have that cape. I forgot about that.
We do find Mimic Cave. It's always nice to find Mimic Cave when you already have the hammer.
Which is a 1 in every 10 seeds, it feels
I know,
like.
right? Just a piece of heart, though.
Alright, Telethar looks like he's just trying to play this methodically, which is a good way of doing this fight as opposed to being super aggressive.
Yeah, he can take 1 more moth hit or 2 more spike hits right now. Get that potion out. You gotta have... yeah,
Oh boy, this
I would have liked to see him
freaky.
start with the fire rod if
Please,
he's gonna use it.
Use the...
You got a blue. Use blue or red. I don't care. Just use one.
Thank you.
In the meantime, I didn't see what the other entrance was for Harry.
It was the bumper cave, or not bumper cave, it was bonk rocks, and it was just another piece of heart.
Okay, so the only thing of worth would be possibly in the Castle Tower vanilla entrance.
And Skull is a crystal, so we do need to do this.
Yep. Fire rod not hard required for this one. The fire rod is really dependent on Turtle Rock. So, I mean, in either way, Ares still needs to get it. But yeah, you can sequence break the back of Skullwoods with a lamp. It's pretty easy to do with some bomb jumps. Actually, it's just 1 bomb jump, really.
All right, so we find blind set over here. So far, navigation tools. Gain us some Maria. We do need that. Also, pod found.
Ares got all the keys, and Telethar's the one that finds it. And a big key to Turtle Rock for Ares. We do need that, too. We have the mirror shield to make a laser bridge free if we ever want to do it again. Ares sees Eastern and says, nope. Nope. And he changes his mind and says, yep. And he does that. I think, yeah, he has the big key. So this is 5 checks.
By the way, it's a
pendant.
pendant.
Oh, it's a pendant. So maybe he's doing it because it's a pendant. Because again, another one of those. Well, unless there's something exactly on Armos Nights, I would get 5 items out of the way that I never have to worry about again. Or I guess something on Ped. We have not seen a Ped check with the book yet.
Yeah, that's something that people have been remarking, is that we have not seen that so far, but there's still a lot of things we need to know about this seed before we even discuss this being a Ped seed.
So we'll see a Ped check when Aerie does the Skullwoods area, because he'll have the mirror to do it. Telethar has to go out of his way to do it, because he didn't have the mirror when he did the Skullwoods area. And we did see a Mimic Clip for a single rupee and, okay, for $6. Total.
Technically required Eastern Palace because we've seen a Skull Small over here.
Yeah, those Skull Smalls are that'll make Ares routing easier when he gets to the either Skullwoods really, because you know now he doesn't have to worry about doing the Skullwoods check in the front before finding the back.
I need to learn that bomb jump.
Yeah, that's one you don't see very often.
Smooth one right there for Telethar.
But none of this is in logic for him because he doesn't have any small keys. But it's nice to do the things that you can do the first time you're there. Then maybe don't even come back there until you have a bunch more small keys.
Logic is just a guide. And Telethar's about to get sadness. You remember where this goes, right?
I think it went to the dark.
No, it's the Eastern Desert.
Oh, right. Yep.
Enter the sad trombone noise right there. For both cases, because Eastern outside of that Skull Small, which you can bypass, and for taking that connector.
Yeah, the Skull Small has some nice convenience to it, but it's not enough to be happy about an Eastern dip by any stretch of the imagination.
Telethar seeing the bloomerang right over there, and is about to discover the greatness of Swamp Palace that Telethar cannot do yet.
Yeah, still needs to find the dam and the flippers. No, wait, he's got the dam. He just needs the flippers.
And the flippers are in GT.
Yep. Which he can do. He can do that left side.
I like this routing by Eriror, though, to get as many entrances as possible. Now, of course, the waterfall turns out to be nothing. And is this our first look over here on the right-hand side?
I believe so. The piece of heart on the ledge there.
And so far, nothing over here on the right-hand side as well. Final cave, the open cave.
Yeah, that must be one of the Ascension Death Mountain.
Yeah, that's the other side of Death Mountain. Oh!
A bow for Eri. Okay, that's big. Assuming pods of crystal, we do need that. Also gives us a GT climb once Eri finds that fire rod in Mire. And the GT climb is really goofy because, yeah, you need all 4 small keys to complete it, but you don't need any small keys to get the first 2 checks. Of course, we also need a GT big key, which we haven't yet. Neither one of them has that yet.
Also, Telethar's made his way up here to...
Nice gift. Wow. We're gonna see Spike Cave from Eri here. What do we got? What do we got? Ether. Okay, well, nope, we don't even need that. That's not even useful. It looks like we have Bombos and Quake for our entries.
Eriror getting that bow, pretty solid news right there. But Eriror has some swimming to do right now.
Yeah, looks like he's gonna hit Swamp Palace. Okay, we don't know if this is a pendant or a crystal. We're running out of things to be pendants, though. We know Eastern's a pendant, and we know that Mire's a pendant. So there's a very high likelihood that this is not a pendant. And even if it is, the worst case scenario is that now you have all your information.
And Telethar about to go into GT, so we'll get the information about the flippers soon.
Can't get that small key. He's teasing us there. Get some new checks on Eri's side.
Yep. And that will be coming up here real soon. Good thing about having the Canon of Samaria is that you got the easier way of doing the Diver Down coming up.
Yeah, fortunately, the Canon of Samaria doesn't take up a lot of magic because Eri doesn't have a lot.
That's very true. I did not notice the magic meter being at such a low level.
Yeah, and it looks like he's going to go ahead and do left side first. We're really early for this play, so I imagine it makes sense. If you're going to full clear this, just do it now, and do it the fastest way possible.
Pretty much.
Like this early in the match, you either do it. I think you either do it first or you don't do it at all until whenever you're running out of things to do.
Hey, magic.
That's helpful.
A little room for error. Eriror didn't need it, but gets it pretty fine.
Well, he's got one more diver down to do. He'll want that. He'll want a little bit of leeway there too.
Yeah, he's got enough juice.
Oh, does get the clip, which probably saves like what, a second, but it's swag.
Yeah, you feel bad if you don't get it though.
Oh yeah.
All right, left side swamp. Is this going to be anything essential? I think that's pretty essential.
I mean, it's worth. Let's put it that way. And of course, always a sword in swamp, because why not? Like it's not necessarily essential, but you don't feel bad for getting it.
Okay, my fighter sword fights against Argus suck, so it's essential to me.
I don't know, my fighter sword and my master sword fights basically follow the same path. The only difference is if I miss the sword spin on the fighter sword, I don't have the recourse of swinging it. And it is a little bit faster, we've discovered, to do this compass check and the big chest after doing left side. If you do it first, not a lot faster, but enough that if you're confident that you'll remember.
Gotta say something that somebody said in chat. I've never heard of someone say, "Damn, I got a sword. Now I don't have fighter sword."
That's pretty funny. Telethar doing a nice job with that cane of Berna on the Armos Knights. Didn't quite finish him off, but...
And Telethar getting the big key to Thieves' Town, aka the way to get Palace of Darkness keys.
So far, the swamp play has pretty much been the sword.
Telethar walking on out of here. And what is the next step here for Telethar?
Imagine he might go to Thieves' Town as well. He also got those slippers, so swamps available.
As Eriror now gets ready to face off against the Argus.
Like he's using a poke. Oh no, he's swinging. Okay.
Oh, has nobody checked Quarreling Brothers to see where it goes? Oh!
Yeah, but Telethar doesn't have the mirror.
Good knowledge, though.
Yep. The later you get a mirror, the worse it is to find it.
Oh yeah, the mirror is such a heavy item in this in this mode.
Like if you get late enough and you don't have a mirror, you just don't want to see it because all of a sudden, all these little one-off checks. Okay, let's see if this is an item of use and if this is a pendant or a crystal. It is bombs. So we got a sword out of swamp. We got a crystal. We got a crystal. That's important. Okay, so let's see where Eri decides to go next. And yeah, I mean, question in chat is Telethar as behind as he looks? Well, no, because there's this important item in Pendant Mire that Eri hasn't gotten to yet. And it is a fire rod there, and we do need it because we do need to do Turtle Rock.
And so far, Bombos hasn't shown up, so we might need it for
that's true.
For Ice Palace too.
Yep.
That's a big key. Speaking of ice.
Speaking of ice. I mean, question in chat, when does Eri even do Misery Mire? Well, he can clear it. So the interesting part is because he's got the Cane of Samaria and Telethar didn't have the Cane of Samaria at the time, it's 3 extra checks for him if he chooses to finish it off. Because it is green pendant. And that could get him there, you know, at some point that'll be a really dense play for him.
Ice Rod
under the bridge.
Okay.
Okay, so that's almost. I mean, between the two runners, we have Turtle Rock.
I mean, you
Eri
are
with
right.
the ice. Yeah, well, Eri's got 3/4 of the things for it, and Telethar just with that fire rod. But that fire rod's pretty big.
I have a funny feeling I know where Eriror might be going to next. I'm maybe checking Bombo's tablet, but I think this might be a Meyer play.
Yeah, it might be. You know, it's
Yeah,
11
this is
items.
Meyer. This is Meyer.
It's hard to turn down 11 items. Also of note, Telethar is going to get his sword out of Swamp. The only thing that was of any use outside the crystal is doing left side first.
Which is good for Argus.
Yes.
By the way, one thing that I was noting before this race began in our pre-race conversations, Eriror has made it to the championship series so far this season in season 5. But did you know that he had lost to his teammates in the previous 2 seasons that eliminated him out of the league?
Yeah, you were telling me that before the race. I did not know that until a little while ago. It's kind of an interesting, very interesting factor here.
In season number 4, he was playing with Error 216, and they fell to Pug Trio. Of course, that was Andy's team back in season 4. And in season 3, his elimination came to the hands of Daaanty.
Yeah, also of note, Eri did not do the left side checks. That's where that cape was, okay.
Eri didn't do the left side checks because he doesn't have the item to do the left side
That's
checks
right,
yet.
he needs the fire rod first. I'm already giving him the fire rod, he doesn't have it yet.
Because he's going to have the fire rod in about 5 seconds, Tracy.
Yep.
He's
okay. He had the okay. I'm confused because he had the mirror out like he was just gonna leave, and then instead, just saves and quits.
that right there was a whole lot of ...
Unfortunately, we didn't get to see. He didn't do our Vitreous, so we don't get to see that item. We don't get to see the green pendant. But that fire rod does open a lot for him, so I could see him leaving. And if he decides he wants to do Vitreous later,
right side
GT. Oh, that's a good one too. But yeah, if he decides he wants to do Vitreous later, all he has to do is he can just do the left side and then take that right into Vitreous. So that routing is pretty good. And it's 4 items that he can come back for.
So, answering chat, the ice rod was on the man underneath the bridge. That's the first time I've ever seen somebody grab 3 puffs and attack them all.
Yeah, I've seen that before. It's really cool when you get it, but it's very difficult.
But the Kata Samaria was over at the Blind's Hut, which is located at the Dark Potion Shop.
And we're just going to wait here and exploit the fact that the game doesn't like us to do 2 things at once, because that's why the magic does not come out. He's grabbing onto that wall with the cape on. For 1 rupee. Ugh.
Yeah, the big thing with Eriror is that he has yet to see how he's supposed to get over to the Mire area, which is, as we know, where Skullwoods and the Palace of Darkness are. We don't know if Pod is a crystal or a pendant at this point in time, but Skullwoods is a crystal, so he will still need to find that. Plus, neither of these runners have found where Ice Palace is. And, of course, we haven't seen Hera either.
Yeah, Hera, we got everything we need for Hera. So we got everything we need for Ice as well.
Boots!
Real boots. Another Skullwood small key. Another Mire small key.
All right, well, that's a real fun location for the boots. And now those boot bonk rocks locations.
Yeah, there's a small key here.
Are in Logic, and also the small key that you're alluding to.
What do we got? We got a small key to where? Ice Palace. Okay.
And
Not a required small key by any stretch of the imagination. Its biggest use is if you don't have hammer or glove when you go in there the first time, and you can icebreaker without worrying about a soft lock.
Telethar is about to pick up the bow.
That's a big item. Doesn't really get him anything unless he wants to finish Eastern Palace.
Eri looks like he is
He's gonna
about
finish
ready
Turtle
to
Rock,
finish
yeah.
Turtle Rock. But first, we're going to check this.
Yeah, I think checking Crystal Roller. You got Mirror. You can check Crystal Roller, mirror back to the entry, and then you can go and kill Trinex from there. And then Trinex gets you to the front once you kill him, and you can do the front checks from there, which is very, very nice when you can get that kind of routing.
Desert is a crystal.
Completely useless map.
So we do need the Desert Big.
Yep. Yeah, we just need to know what that last pendant is. Actually, Desert Big is the only big key left that we need. We definitely don't need that Skullwood's big key unless, of course, there's something in the big chest.
And you don't want to see the GT Big.
Nope.
You don't want to see the
No,
GT
there's
Big.
six items on the climb, plus the big chest itself that we've already orphaned, especially Eri having orphaned it on both sides.
That being said, GT Big is going to come up here on Trinex.
And Telethar are going to do the Eastern play. Interesting because he's going to be able to finish it. Eri had gotten that bow right after he did this play.
Very nice Trinex from Eriror. For silver arrows!
Well, if and when he decides to be Vitreous, it's now free. We're gonna walk right back in and do at least these 3 checks.
I mean, you have to at this point.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Kind of interesting, Tracy, that we've seen these 2 entrances to TR, but both the middle entrances have yet to be seen.
Yeah. I mean, he could. Let's see. With 1 key, with 1 key he can full clear the front. So he can get to a chain chomps, and you can do everything with the big chest. The big chest only accessible from the right side.
If you're Telethar, do you finish this dungeon? Oh, I mean, he doesn't know if it's crystal or pendant, so I guess the answer is yes.
Yeah,
no matter
of course
what.
you do. Yeah, even if you knew it was a pendant, I'd probably do it in this situation. Just because you've already spent the time in here, you haven't gotten anything good out of it.
Big key to GT.
The one
That's
we don't
the one
want to
we
see.
didn't want to see.
Didn't want to see that.
And Eri has chosen not to go any further inside of this dungeon.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Ideally, you want to get to the last checks from the right side, because then it's like 3 checks.
Did Eri never come out that way?
Nope.
Apparently not, because there it is.
Yeah, he never came out that way.
Now, Eri is going to go ahead and... Well, don't forget there's a small key over here on Race Game.
Yeah, there's some mirror checks that he can do.
And that is not ice.
Yeah, I don't think he checked this ahead of time. I want to say it's a small key. Or maybe he did. One of them did. I feel like Telethar definitely checked it, and I'm not sure if Eri did. Either way, we get a small key, and we get a small key to pod. Okay.
Telethar definitely did. And we get ourselves a small key to Misery Mire for the red pendant. Convenience key, and that's all that is.
Yep. And for Telethar in particular, since he actually already checked the left side, whereas Eri getting small keys could lead him back there to Meyer.
Eri, this is your Super Bunny cave.
Yeah, I already forgot that he did that.
Yeah, I think with the regards to the entrances that he just checked over again, he forgot to mark them off when he came out the other way.
It's the thing that happens. Of note, yeah, we can't auto track entrances. We're only allowed to auto track items and like locations for non CrossKeys type seeds. So you have to do that manually. So it's very easy to make a mistake or miss one.
Yeah. And not mark something down later on that can get you into a whole lot of trouble.
Yeah, Rick, how many times have you done the I forgot to mark Saha? And now I need to go turn in the green pendant.
And now
That's the one that gets me all the time.
And now I have to go watch my VOD for the next 15 minutes while I'm trying to play and figure out where he is.
Yep.
Oh, he was there? I'm such an idiot. Been there, done that. I've written the book by now. Well, good news for Telethar. Those boots are not going to be required for the library.
Oh, there's Ice Palace. I'm going to see this other entrance first, and then I think he'll go in and do Ice Palace.
As Eri goes and checks to see what we have on the Bombos tablet. Bombos tablet is just a compass.
Okay. I mean, it's not the most useless compass out there, but it's definitely not something you care about. I'm one of the few runners that will actually, I kind of rate the usefulness of compasses, because, like, see Telethar and Ice Palace, and I always say Ice Palace is impossible to count. If you're going to give me a compass, give me the Ice Palace compass. As opposed to something like Eastern Palace, which is so linear that you really don't need it. Not a good start.
Speaking of useless items.
It looks like Ari's going to follow him right into Ice Palace.
Yeah, which is going to give Arian a pretty sizable advantage at this point in time now that he's picked up that fire rod.
Yeah, and in CrossKeys, I tend to like to talk more about advantages and leads, because things can change so quickly just by, you know, we're missing a desert big key that could be almost anywhere. There's exactly 2 locations in the game that big key can't be.
And here comes another advantage, by the way. What is Telethar doing that Eriror's not?
He doesn't have the cane yet. No icebreaker.
That's right.
Also of note, he's still in Green Mail, and Ice is a very dangerous dungeon. Like, there's a reason why the game finally gives you a mail upgrade in vanilla. He's gonna have to be a little bit more careful. Now, fortunately, he's got... I'm not sure how much he has in his bottles. I know he's got at least 1 blue. And, you know, Fire Rod is very effective against Cold Stare. Yeah, I mean, if you're Telethar, you're hoping the Canis Maria is here.
Which we know it's not, but he does not. By the way, if you're looking for game number 2 of this series, Daaanty versus Ganon's Gone Wild. That is the green pendant match, so the casual boots, that's going to be coming up on January 26th at 8:10 p.m. Eastern. Mark your calendars. That's going to be a whole lot of fun. That's coming up on Thursday.
So also of note, Telethar doesn't have a small key, so he has to get over to this right side, he has to go through the intended way. He can't just open the door. Doesn't look like there's anything over here anyway. Hey, we can find out that Swamp Palace is a crystal. That's always fun.
Yay!
After we've already left.
Nice stair clip.
You can see the power of the icebreaker in a full clear Ice Palace. It's really not that big a difference if you're in go mode. But when you're full clear, you know, Telethar got in here first, and Ari's gonna get to the boss a lot sooner. and be done with it a lot sooner.
Yeah, you're talking what? Maybe a minute plus difference
Oh,
here.
for sure. It's only like 15 seconds in Go mode, but yeah, if you're full clearing, yeah, you want to have that icebreaker if you can get it. Oh,
Titans
no,
mids here, which
that's
is
not what you want to see.
well, maybe yes.
I mean,
And
if Eri could get a flute as well,
that's
then
what I mean.
he gets the Meyer area, but he doesn't have a flute yet, so.
That's
The
what I
myths
mean,
don't-
though.
Let's see, what does the myths open up? It opens us actual vanilla ice location. We've already seen hammer pegs. It opens us smith chain for items. I don't know.
Have we seen where the breadsmiths are yet?
Probably.
We probably have. I just haven't marked it down.
I mean, it's one of those things where, you hope never have to worry about it, but you always want to mark it down just in case. It looks like Eri wants a little extra magic here. Yeah, he's gonna need a little extra magic.
Yeah, he did not have enough magic to survive what would be the
Also
fight.
wants those extra hearts because I don't know. I have no idea what Eri's got in his bottle, but he wants to use some sword beams here. He's got a bee, but the bee, he might have. He's got 3 bottles, so he's got other things too.
Yeah, he's going to need
He needs at least one dupe.
One dupe, yeah.
It's pretty easy to get 1 dupe. If you're relying on getting all 4 dupes, that's a little more difficult. So what we mean by dupes is when you fire the fire rod and you fire your sword beams in between, it'll dupe the fire rod, and the game will think that it's doing fire rod damage for the shell. Too bad it doesn't work for the rest of the fight. That was a really nice fight, by the way.
Yeah, there was extremely nice fight there for Eriror. So the mids open up what you just mentioned, but also what the mids open up here, or at least completing this dungeon opens up, is Pyramid Fairy.
Oh gosh, yes.
Now, there's still one major cave that exists.
We've not seen Mini Moldorm, I think.
Yeah, we have not seen Mini Moldorm Cave, and there's at least 1 2-item cave that I know we haven't seen, which is still a potential.
We've seen both fairy caves. I'm not sure what the other one is.
Telethar with a very solid fight as well.
Okay. See what Eri does next. Telethar without a mirror doesn't have a choice about checking.
Telethar's going to be feeling really bad in short amount of time,
Yep.
because Telethar is about to go to Dark Potion, which is where the Cane of Samaria is.
Yeah. Okay, we are going to see the Ice Palace check. This is fine. You can. It's one of the few things the myths actually open.
And it's Aga Tower.
We don't have. Oh wait, okay. Between the two, between the runners, we have everything we need. Telethar not having found the boots yet, and Eri not having found the powder yet. Was the powder right side? Sorry, left side Meyer.
Yeah, it was in the compass chest.
Now, I don't think we're gonna. Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna likely do this anyway. You're just gonna do this check. Because again, we don't have a lamp, so there's probably gonna be better things to do than this.
Yeah, which is why Eri is going to be leaving that.
Yeah, chat asking where the lamp is. That's a really good question. Could be
At
on
this-
GT climb if we find a GT big key.
We already did find the GT big key.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, yeah.
it was-
that's right. Eri does have it.
Yeah, it was in.
Hey.
Oh, hi there.
Speaking of 5-item caves. That's right, because we were like, oh, this is the one we don't want.
Yeah, it was over in Turtle Rock. My mind will come to me at some point. Speaking of Turtle Rock, small key. And Batch Quest.
At least the potion shop is really easy to get to from here if you want to turn that in. And Eri needs to go back here for this one check. As he did not have
time
bombs when he came here the first time.
Yeah, when he was doing the hula hand.
Honestly, when you get here, you don't really want this to be anything.
Telethar is about to finish the second of the 5-6, so we'll see which runner plans out
now,
the trip to Magic
doesn't have his ice rod yet. This is
Oh.
Crystal Roller, and I wouldn't be surprised if he goes and follows it further.
Oh my, you're right.
He could do Chain Chomps and Lava Chest pretty easily from here if he wants to. Maybe even check the exit out of TR left.
For those of you who are wondering where the ice rod is, it is on the man underneath the bridge.
Okay, let's see where Eri's gonna go. Yeah, and Telethar is gonna continue on. I like this choice here.
Yeah, and Telethar does not have the mirror, which is on the pyramid ledge. And Tower of Hera is under Bonk Rocks.
So boots required. And this is what I don't like about Pseudo boots, is your boots become a fetch quest item. Suddenly you get boots. You get to move the same speed as you did before, but now you have to check all those locations that you left earlier.
And so therefore the question at that stage becomes, how many times have you had a seed come down to the very, very end and be like, oh, I need the boost because they actually open up an entrance?
We saw one here earlier this season. I saw Fear Agent in chat. He played that. I forget who he was playing. Where their go mode was, I think it was actually to get into the castle tower, or sorry, the lumberjack entrance to fight Ganon.
I think I've had a couple in practice too that felt the same way, and it was just like, ugh.
But yeah, we did see the exit out of Turtle Rock. It was the desert area.
Eri trying to hammer down this Moldorm.
Nothing behind the 4 Turtle Rock small keys. There's our lamp.
Right there. Are you joking me? And that's a pendant. That's our third.
Okay, so Eri now knows everything he needs to know in terms of finishing this game. That lamp, not hard required, so maybe not the best feeling in the world to have gotten it, but we'll see if he goes back in to check the... Yeah, he's going to go ahead and do tile room.
Yeah, because we still need the desert big.
But he did get, I want to say, 2 pod smalls? Yeah, he's got all 6 pod smalls now.
Shoutouts to our 2 trackers behind the scenes. We have Relkin and Linkforce clicking the buttons and making the things appear on our screen. Thank you very much for spending your Tuesday evening listening to us ramble on this seed. And Tracy, this has been a whole lot of fun.
It really has, yeah. And to get back to those trackers, 2 of the best. Trackers always are MVPs, but I know when we got Linkforce and Relkin on the tracker, I can trust that they're gonna have the things marked that need to be marked.
When it comes to Linkforce and Relkin, I trust the things that are right in front of me on the screen here. So thank you very much to our trackers on what is going to be the last CrossKeys, Pseudo Boots CrossKeys.
Unless. I think it was Eri that submitted this. Yeah, there was an unless that I don't think is going to happen, but you never know. I bring it up only because Eri actually put it in the submission. Unless they tie.
But yes, this is the last Pseudo Boots CrossKeys of the league season.
All right, because we
had the Open League.
Yeah,
they did their CrossKeys just earlier. So yeah, this is the last one. All right, so there they are.
Now, sometimes I just grab the Smith if it's convenient, and I just keep checking entrances. And you know, if you lose the Smith because of reasons, because there are a lot of ways to lose the Smith, it's just like whatever. I don't think Eri's been in that area recently, so it didn't make with the myths, so it didn't really make sense. No, I don't think he didn't even know that Magic Bat was here.
Yeah, because Eri took the connector from Desert when he found it at the tree over here, took that over, and just never got back to this region. It kind of feels weird when you're having an hour 21 Spear 1 entrance check.
Yep. Especially drop downs. I like to get those drop downs done as early as I can.
Telethar slowly getting over to the desert, or not the desert ledge, but the pyramid ledge. That is where the mirror is. I don't think Eri has seen the 2 Dark World caves down here in the bottom, so it's going to be checking these now.
Yeah, it's a good time to do that. He still hasn't found that connector over to the mire area.
Which is through Old Man Back.
Yeah.
Which is in logic now.
Yeah. Well, maybe he does it on the next save and quit. And there's nothing on East Dark Death Mountain. I should say Lower East Dark Death Mountain.
And there he starts with the mountain cave.
Yeah,
and there he
exactly where
is.
he's going.
So Eri at this point, once he finds the Skullwood's back, which he's going to in just a few moments, will be just a desert big away from go mode.
Isn't Pod over here as well?
Yeah, that's where Pod is. That's why Eriror hasn't done a thing about Pod yet.
Yeah, and he's got a full clearable fully in logic. Imagine getting to Pod with bow, with hammer, with lamp even, with 6 small keys and the big key. That doesn't happen. I think this is going to be Turtle Rock left.
Yes, it
We'll
is.
see if
And
he-
Eri
yeah.
might
So he's
think
gonna
about
do-
checking
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the mirror, so you just do it. You get the 2 items, and then you go. Still no sign of Turtle Rock right. There's that useless ether medallion for Telethar.
Winner of this match takes a 1-0 series lead for their team. Our container right there for Eri. Is it going to be the Pugs getting the 1-0 series lead, handing it over to Daaanty for the casual boots coming up in 2 nights? Or is it Telethar giving it to OKDUDES so that Ganon's Gone Wild can take that lead? Be interesting to see what gets chosen for the game 3. It's going to be Hitsuin's choice.
You know, it feels like Andy's been choosing a lot of Enemizer, so I would imagine it'll be something not Enemizer.
There is the Ice Rod for Telethar, probably muttering just a little bit because he had already done the back check into the Crystal Roller Room.
Fortunately, Eri does have that Quake. There's Castle Tower for Telethar. Probably gonna do the same thing that Eri did. Just do the first 3.
Okay, just 50 rupees. And this is going to be the skull back for Eri.
Yeah, I'm more interested when he gets to Pod, because I imagine you go just beat it, and then do all the checks afterwards. I might go, go right side, beat it from there, and then do all the checks in the front afterwards. 'Cause you get all the keys. You go straight to the back. If your Desert Palace big key is just on Helmasaur, you're done. You don't have to do anything else.
And Eri knows all of the dungeons he needs to do at this point in time. Yeah. He knows what is the pendants, but knows what are the crystals. So, little drama in that regards.
Yeah, that Hera play was interesting because it just gave him. I think it had 2 or 3 pod smalls. Like all the pod smalls were there.
I mean, Thieves Town had 2 smalls too. It's like the seed gave it to you in just Small
in
pieces.
bunches, yeah. And Telethar still hasn't gone back to Thieves Town. I forget where that Thieves Town small key was, but that might be the thing that's keeping him out of there.
I do not remember.
Front of Hyrule Castle.
Oh dear, yeah. That's right, because it was blocked behind the Hyrule Castle small.
I can always trust Link Forest to yell at me when I ask those questions.
I think it was in the boomerang chest, if I remember correctly at this point. All right, we are getting a GT climb. Oh no, we're getting right side first. That will give Telethar the real boots.
Yeah, and he might actually go all the way to the big chest from here. Like if the desert big key is in the big chest, it might be a while before Eri gets there because he might say, "Well, if I'm gonna go do GT, I don't want to go all the way to the big chest. I'm just gonna straight up climb." And here we got Pod with that big number 6 there. A lot of keys.
And we'll go ahead and say goodbye to Eri's face. So yeah, at this point in time, Eri is just a desert BK away from go mode. And Tracy, where do you think it is?
I'm hoping it's just right here in Pod. That'd be make a lot of sense, but probably not. That'd be too easy.
I mean, that would be, but let's just say that League has not given me many great opportunities to commentate normal seeds, so who knows?
Oh, we're getting the hover.
And look at the swag over here by Eri. Can he do it? Yes, he can.
I mean, I guess if you're gonna play on Andy's team with Daaanty, and you're gonna be on the Pug squad, you have to be able to do that hover. Is that a prerequisite?
All right. Well, in that case,
it is one of the more difficult. It is one of the most difficult hovers.
Tracy, I'm not going to give the team any respect until I see Daaanty do it on a dance pad.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I'd pay money to see that.
I would too. Let me see. What's in my wallet? $2.14. There you go, Daaanty.
Bring that dance pad to SG Live.
Oh, right. While making a brisket, too. I forgot.
Okay, we are going to see the big chest from Telethar here.
It's not a big key, but now it's time for the climb for Telethar, maybe.
Get this small key. Yeah, at this point he needs that desert big key to be in a bad spot. Because this will be crystal number 6 for Eri. Just desert, with just desert left. Is not going to climb. It is 6 items on the climb, so it's tempting. But he's got other good things to do as well.
Yep, Telethar going to go finish Turtle Rock now. We'll get the silvers as a result. Eri has dispatched of the Humazar King. Okay, so there was no way Eri could get the flute.
Oh my god, that flute on Helmasaur in the mire area. So you had to go through the connector from the back of the old man start point, back of the mountain. That's pretty funny. But not a desert big key, so he's going to probably go right back in. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Still a lot of items in this dungeon.
And
I really like the way he's routed this dungeon.
Absolutely, I do agree with you on that. God bless the lamp location. For those who didn't see it, the lamp is on Moldorm, the Tower of Hera.
Yeah, you know, the thing about the lamp here is not even the dark rooms, but we're looking like we're going to be, you know, if we don't find another sword pretty soon, there's a good chance we're going to be Master Sword for the fight. Or we got silvers, but, you know, I was thinking Master Sword silverless, you really want to have that lamp. But it's not silverless, so... It is kind of nice to get a torch glitch even then, but I don't think he's going to need that. But we do get to see this room, instead of just hearing rupee sounds.
Or if I play, the sounds the anti-fairies hitting you. With your draining magic, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, chat asking how Telethar has no pod smalls, because they're all in Thieves, the back of Thieves Town, and they're all in Hera. And he hasn't done those yet.
And Telethar just got access to the Tower of Hera. Bombo's right
There's
there.
that Bombos. Yeah, I think he's going to do Hera right now. He's going to see it. I don't think he knows that it's a pendant, so you do it.
All right, 14th and final item is it here in Pod.
We have 6 pod smalls. This is completely unlogic, and
No.
it's 20 rupees.
No big keys exist here. By the way, if we do see another big key, it's the one we need.
Yeah, we've gotten all the other ones.
And at this point, I'm just trying to figure out what we are missing for item entrances.
Yeah, I have a terrible time remembering which. And you know, I can. It's easy to keep track of the five item caves. The 2 is not so bad, but then you know, get down to those one-offs. But this could be Smith's.
Have we seen Myershed? Oh, they're on the mushroom turn-in!
The mushroom turn-in. And while we're at it, let's buy some potions.
And with that, at 1 hour, 34 minutes, and 27 seconds, Eri is the first of these 2 runners into go mode.
Yeah, you know, that mushroom, I feel like we turned that mushroom in a long time ago. There's the lamp for Telethar.
Chat pointing out, I think they might be correct that the mirror actually not required this seed.
No, we didn't need it for anything. A bunch of entrances that are normally mirror locked were connectors. Well, I guess maybe not a bunch, but we did see like K45. I don't think we ever saw Graveyard Ledge. And there was nothing that was required in the desert area, just the mire area.
So a quick trip here to go face off against the Lammolas, getting tackled by the Igor.
Yeah, I wonder if he was, you know, the mirror's sitting there on the pyramid ledge, and I wonder if he's trying to wait for the mirror to go to the pyramid ledge.
Yeah.
Because you get those 3 entrances, so it's a little unfortunate that he hasn't been there yet.
Mm-hmm. As Eri gets 1, 2, and 3 silver arrows. Watch this drop a sword. No, just 100 rupees.
I love a good silver arrow Lambo kill.
It feels so good. But with that, Eri now has all 7 crystals, and it's now to face off against Ganon with the opportunity to give his team a 1-0 series lead in the championship series.
Yeah, we're gonna save and quit because, yeah, and I don't think he activated the flute. I don't think he saves time activating the flute at this point.
Especially if Ganon is right there in the village.
Meanwhile, Telethar doing this last mire area check. Yeah, if you'd had opportunity to activate it earlier. In fact, if he had, I don't know if he thought about it or not. I know I didn't think about it when he did it, so I probably wouldn't have done it either. But mirroring and activating the flute right after picking up that desert big key in the potion shop might have been a good idea. Just because you're right there, you can activate it, and then you can save and quit to anywhere and just flute over here. But at this point, we're not going to see a flute activation.
Which is the way it goes sometimes. Eri doing the spins, trying to be patient through this fight, but of course Eri, with his extensive skill at this game, is going to get multiple hits onto Ganon. And gets the perfect top right corner setup.
That's what you want. That's where you want Ganon to be when you have to do sword spins on him.
So Eri looks pretty well here to go a perfect 5-0 in the Pseudo Boost CrossKeys mode.
Yep, and gets through. Yeah, now past the second. The second phase is the scary phase in Master Sword Ganon. So we're past that. This is kind of more of an annoying phase because you set up for the sword spin, and half the time, sometimes you catch that you don't actually have to let the spin go, but a lot of times you don't, as you saw right there. Nice torch glitch with the fire rod.
Patience over here. It is a virtue. 1 silver arrow. Doesn't hold down the control.
That was a little dangerous.
Control pad, because that would have been dangerous.
That was also a little bit dangerous.
That's a triple right there.
Nice triple. You don't see triples on the horizontal line very often. That was really nicely done.
And the perfect, unadulterated gaming squad have defeated OKDUDES in Game 1 of this Best of 5 series. Eri has defeated Telethar.
Finishing with an official race time of 1:39:02. GG's to Eri and the Pugs. This is only Game 1, so, we got a lot of series left to play.
And Game 2 of this series will be playing out in 2 days. Daaanty versus Ganon's Gone Wild, the casual boots match of this series. That will be 8:10 p.m. on Thursday. That's 8:10 Eastern. Check it out here on Speed Gaming. Hi, Eri.
Yo.
Okay, I was a little off on my 2 hour and 5 minute estimate, all right?
A little.
So sue me! Anyways, GG's.
Oh, thanks. That felt really, really good. I was super happy with that.
Yeah, that worked out pretty well for you. The mushroom turn-in being the answer was kind of funny, because I don't remember. It feels like you guys turned that mushroom in, both of you, quite a while ago, and then it's like, oh, hey, let's check it now, and there's that big key.
I do want to point out that Telethar has, of course, seen Eri's finish and has decided I am done with the seed, but get your GGs in for Telethar as well, another fantastic competitor who's now joining us for the conversation as well.
Yo, GGs.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, we were just talking about that location of that desert big key. You maybe already know it's at the potion shop, just sitting there waiting to be picked up from the mushroom turning.
Yeah, I mean, I was far enough behind that even if that wasn't the issue, even if I had gone right there, it wouldn't have made a difference. But
yeah, because you still had to do Thieves Town.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, at that point, it felt like you needed that big key to be just in an absolute horrible spot that you found first.
Yeah, I don't know how much of everything Eri cleared, but for sure it needed to not be convenient.
And I think the other thing is that Eri was able to get more and more checks lumped together once he found the mirror, which of course was on Pyramid Ledge.
Yeah, I probably should have followed gone to the pyramid after Thieves Town anyway, but I saved quit out when I didn't have the small key, wasn't going to beat the dungeon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough call though, because you want to have that mirror when you go over to that pyramid, because you get those 3 entrances.
Yeah.
And as it turned out, I think we figured out that the mirror didn't actually lead to anything required. It just
Nah.
made routing just a little bit easier.
Yeah. Certainly wasn't required, since all I needed to do for Go mode was go back to Vu.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, I also didn't get like an extra sword or anything, so it was.
You guys got the same two
convenient.
swords.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had a left side swamp sword. I forget what that. No, the first sword was the drop down over by the castle. The second sword being the left side swamp sword because it's swamp, and you know what they say about swamp and swords. Who knows where the other two are? We're not going to find them.
There's always a fire source and ice palace, which turned out to be the case this time around.
No, you were the one that wanted it in Mire and got it there. You put the fire rod in Mire.
Yeah, it was really awkward too, right? Because that fire rod also locked the lamp.
Yeah, okay,
Yep.
so let me ask you this one here, Eri. What was that movement that you did? You kind of did like a stutter step once you get that fire rod.
I was deciding whether or not I wanted to go back and do left side,
Mhm.
but I thought, well, if I don't have that much to do anymore, and I find like lamp or something so videos and logic, then I can just get like 4 items by doing left side into video. And
Right,
also,
'cause-
I also only had 1 small key, so left side wasn't like really close to being in logic yet.
Right. I think one of the small keys ended up being on Armos Night, so it might have been a while before you actually got it
Oh,
in
that was
logic.
that was so awkward too. Like doing Eastern and then finding the bow right after.
Yep.
It was stupid. So I didn't want to do Eastern yet, but then I saw like right when I walked back out that it was a pendant, so I was like, okay, well, I'll just take my shot and just get 5 items.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But
I got the map after beating it, so
oh, classic.
And really, the only thing that was inside of the Eastern was a Skull Woods key that you could skip.
yeah, it was complete trash.
Yeah.
Well, especially for you, Telethar, since you'd already beaten Skullwoods. Like, I mean, you don't. I mean, the Skullwoods small keys, you just don't need them really. But at least for Eri, it just makes routing a little bit easier sometimes to have that key.
So it feels like your strategy for this match, Eri, was to try to stick with your logic as much as possible because you didn't check Old Man back until you had the lamp. Was that part of the strategy, or was that just I have other things to do?
It was a little bit of a mix of both, because I definitely had plenty of things to do, and I was even considering still going to Skullwoods and maybe just finding a connector somewhere, like in the back of Skull or something. Like when I got the boots turned into mushroom and then like found Hera and all that, I just kind of wanted to hedge my bets and check some Sphere 1 stuff because I left like the DMA area for quite a while. Yeah, like definitely. Like it was also kind of the problem with Dark Cross. It was kind of tough to get back to that, so I kind
we
of
never
regret leaving
s-
that.
We never did see that.
But I kind of wanted to cut some corners because Telethar is a ridiculously good CrossKeys player, and like I didn't really exactly know what his playstyle was, but I mean, you don't get to the finals without being a really good player. So I felt like I needed to be a little bit more aggressive than I usually would be. So that was kind of like leaving Mire for a little bit and then leaving Dark Cross, just going to some stuff later when it was a little bit more convenient.
Mhm.
And it feels like a lot of the plays that you chose to make, Eri, paid out for you in the end.
Yeah, but that's rando. Like it might as well just have been the other way around. Then
Yeah.
Desert Viking
Yeah.
could have been in left side Mire or something, and then I would have been slightly boned.
Right, and the reason I bring that up is because it's not to take away anything from Telethar's skills. It's just luck was on Eri's side this time around, and maybe another day between the two of you, Eri's moves finds him the path towards everything but what he needs to do, and this was not the case here.
Yeah, I mean, that's what rando is, right? You try to make educated decisions based on the information you have.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works out. Sometimes, even if you're making educated decisions, the answer is just a really inconvenient spike cave that you last locate. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Just
Yeah.
the way it can go.
And there's like a huge difference between like maybe a correct choice mathematically and the choice that actually pays off. So
Yep.
sometimes they feel like you have to take a gamble and make a choice that otherwise would not be correct, but it could pay off. Yeah, especially in CrossKeys, like those slight divergences can become so much more evident. It's a pretty tough mode.
Yeah, it was kind of fun. I mean, early on, you guys were doing very different things, clearing up a lot of, like Eri, you did the well, and then of course you had to leave the one spot behind because no bombs. And Telethar, you ended up in East Death Mountain, but you didn't have money for the chess game, and just the early plays were kind of fun and interesting. And of course, you all went back and did the other things and cleaned it up later. So I don't think there was any serious advantage or disadvantage. It just was interesting. Oh yeah, and then you found it always hurts. I've done this myself, where you find Paradox Cave and you've got nothing.
Yeah.
No bombs, no money, no weapons. You just gotta leave it be. So.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that bad for finding that. It was more. It felt bad finding the Moon Pearl at like 3 minutes and then not having Dark World access, like not finding any Dark World connectors or anything that made sense, and like never having mirror. So it's just like, what's really the point of having an early Moon Pearl?
Yeah,
but yeah, that's how it goes.
And now neither of you have to play Pseudo Boots CrossKeys again.
Should have tied.
Rude.
Maybe we get to play Retrance instead, but
yeah.
we'll have to see about that.
Yeah, it's up to my teammates now.
So because we don't know whether or not we're going to be seeing either of you again here in the league, is there anything that both of you want to say here on what could be your final match together?
Just GG's. It was great playing you. Wish I had won, but that's that's not how it went, for sure. So
yeah, really respect you a lot in all your progress over the past year, and it's great to finally have played you in a 1v1.
Yeah,
and maybe we'll get to do it again soon. Maybe indoors or something. So I'm sure we'll see each other around. So thank you so much for the match, and good luck to your team on the rest.
Yeah, you both seem to have the utmost respect for each other, which is great.
I mean, in the end, for me, that's what playing random in this community is all about. Like, getting to meet cool people and just play matches in a respectful way. And I'm glad that we got to do that.
We'll try to crank up the heat next time so that we're not all cool people.
Okay, Aries sucks. I don't know if you guys know this. He's really bad at the game, and
well, then I'm not
it's
sure what
all
that says
luck.
about me.
Can you believe that he doesn't even have a 122 yet?
Oh my. But GG's to both of you. This was a thrill to go ahead and call for the championship series. So I'm going to start here with Eri. Anything you want to say to Daaanty for the upcoming Casual Boots Game 2?
Sub 5 or escape or bust.
All right, well, there's the gauntlet. How about you, Telethar? Anything you want to say to Ganon's Gone Wild?
I'm just looking forward to getting carried.
Well, speaking of carried, I think Tracy M has carried me through this broadcast pretty well.
I don't know about that. Yeah, it's been a great time. I'm glad you reached out and we got to do this one together.
Hey, we've been longing.
Probably our last one, because then I'll want to spread it out. So I was glad we got to do it.
We've been longing to do CrossKeys at some point. So here we go. What a way to do it.
Absolutely. It was a lot of
But you
fun.
know who carried us more?
Link Force and Relkin.
They did. Thank you very much for our trackers. Also, thanks to the crew of everyone. Be sure to give our two runners a follow, Eri and Telethar. Great members of the community. GG's to both of you, and good luck to your teams in game number 2. Tracy, I'll let you say the final words. I'm Adirondack Rick saying thank you for joining us.